Hi, welcome to Wrinkle Society of Hope. If this is your first time, welcome. And those that are returning, thank you so much for continuing to follow. Today, you are going to hear a courageous woman come to share her story about the wrinkles that she had to press through in life. Now, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you can continue to hear the stories, and also hit subscribe and share our YouTube channel so that some other woman can be motivated and encouraged by the stories that come. I am so excited that you are here, and I hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day. Hello, Wrinkles family. I am super excited about this one. I'm always excited about Wrinkles, but this is my sister. This is my Sarah. We are here. We went to Grambling State University. We pledged with the amazing women of J15 of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated at Grambling State University. And she is the most amazing woman. And I had to bring her on. One of my amazing Sarahs. So introduce yourself to the Wrinkles family.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christy Ann Hamlin. I go by Christy, and I consider myself a speaker, storyteller, and strategist. My main goal these days, set people free from whatever it is that's holding them back. Usually it's their jobs, but setting them free and putting them on a path to the life that they desire. So I'm happy to be here to share more about my story.
Yes, thank you so much for coming, sis. And as you see, she has no wrinkles on her face, just a smooth, beautiful
I'm wearing
face.
a little makeup today.
But if you got any hid by makeup, how did you feel when you got your first very small physical wrinkle?
I was thinking about that question, and I don't think I've gotten any, but I have lots of freckles now. And 10 years ago, I don't remember I just turned 40 in October.
Oh.
So I don't remember that happening. So as I'm thinking about when I get my first wrinkle, when it happens, how I'm going to feel, I think I'm just going to keep rolling with the punches. And the reason why I can do that is because my mom and her siblings, or her sisters, have aged well. They all look really good, wrinkles and all, and none of them look their age. So I think my entire life, I just been looking at that like, well, I'm gonna be good. You know what I mean? I think everything's gonna stay where it needs to stay, and even if it doesn't, it's still gonna look good when it lands. So that's how I feel about that.
When it land, I like that.
Yeah. Gravity, it's gonna come down at some point. So
well, that's good. You could look at, people, your mom and them, and like, all right, I'm gonna be fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is awesome. Well, through life, we go through some physical changes. The little freckles are things that we go through, but we also go through some emotional wrinkles in our lives. Mm-hmm. Can you share a story of a wrinkle that you had to press through?
I think that I say most recent. Yesterday, I celebrated 5 years of me stepping away from corporate, or me finding out I was no longer going to have my job in corporate. I was going to be laid off. And it's crazy because I was going to quit my job anyway, but it's kind of like a bad breakup where it's awkward because they leave you first or something like that. So It was like they beat me to the punch. And so I kind of had a plan. It didn't come out of left field, but it took me by surprise because I didn't realize how much my identity was wrapped up into what I did for a living, my corporate job. I had been doing it for so long. And so I think these past 5 years, it's just when I talk about setting people free and being, free for myself, it's like figuring out who you are, what do you want to do, how do you want to show up in the world, and what legacy do you want to leave? And that it was painful when it was happening in the beginning, but that's where I am now as a result of being laid off. It's like, I've been in too many boxes, pretty much.
Yeah.
Allowing myself to replace the boxes. So I feel free now.
That's something, to get that unexpected. Like you say, even though you thought you were leaving, you planned on leaving.
I was ready
that
to go,
unexpected,
girl.
like, okay, now you're going to have to leave. That's scary, right? Like,
yeah, it's scary. It's uncomfortable. It's change, right? And it's like, the only thing I kept thinking about was, okay, I wanted this. I was going to step away, but like, what do I do now? Like, what does that mean? And then I cared tremendously about what people were going to say and what people were going to think, because all this time that I've had this career, even though I've worked for several different companies, people knew me because of what I did, even, people that I went to college with, I was just associated with that job, that career, that place that I used to work, that place where I used to live. And so, and then I moved back home to Grambling too.
Yeah.
Afterward, I decided to move back. And so that was another thing, like dealing with, how can I say this tactfully? Let's see, dealing with people, putting expectations on you or saying, oh, you fell off. You lost your job. You had to move back. No, I chose to.
Yeah.
I chose to move back home, and I chose not to do another job right away, because I really wanted to be free. I wanted to sleep late. It wasn't even 35 yet, I don't think. And I hadn't really taken a real vacation. I was working and going to happy hour. That was pretty much my thing. I was making a lot of money, but I really wasn't able to invest it the way I wanted to because I was just working.
Yeah.
So, freedom. I feel free now. I feel free to roam around the US or wherever I want to go and do the work that means something to me and work with the people that are aligned with my core beliefs and values. That's where I am.
I think that's something that a lot of people are afraid of is, like you said, you had that identifier, because you've been in that career for so long. And then at times we get that identifier, like, that's who I have to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's so brave to take that leap. Like, I'm going to take care of myself now. I'm going to make a decision to put myself first. How often do we lack doing that?
Always.
Always, especially as women, it's almost like, okay, well, this is what I got to do. I got to stay strong and keep doing this. All right, this is my job. Even though I'm unhappy, I'm gonna go ahead and stay in this career. And I love that you speak to that you're like, no, I'm gonna put myself first.
But you know what? It's almost an expectation as a Black female as well, because what we've seen our mothers do is no matter what, they're resilient. They're gonna get it done. It's okay if didn't feel a way about a job or a situation, shake it off and keep moving. We don't take the time to just to say, you know what, that didn't make me feel okay.
Yeah.
Let me pull back and do a self-care day for myself. But instead we go and we pour ourselves into other people deeper. I feel like when we are having those moments, right? Those wrinkles.
Yes.
That's what I did. I mean, I did spend a lot of time. I traveled. Look, I had fun. That first year, I had a wanderlust year. I was in these streets, as the kids say, having a good old time. Actually, I'm not even gonna say that 1 year, but until COVID stopped me, I was moving and roaming around for several years, traveling and making up for lost time when it came to things that I had wanted to do, places I wanted to travel to, but I always had work as an excuse. So
yeah.
Anyway.
So the woman that went through that and decided to, make that decision, if you look back at that moment when you heard, okay, we're going to have to release you from your job, to release you from this career, what advice would you give her now, knowing everything that you know now? What advice would you give her then?
Never stop betting on yourself. Even when you are confronted with unsolicited advice from people who have no clue what you're going through, who have never gone through what you're going through. Continue betting on yourself and know that the vision for your life that God has shown you, it's going to happen for you. It's not going it's going to be tough. It's going to be some wrinkles, along the way. But the vision that God has shown you is going to happen. You just have to bet on yourself and keep going and silence the noise.
Yes. Love it. That's the best advice.
If I could just go back to my and just shake her and be like, girl, it's going to be all right.
How many times you want to do that? A couple steps through life you want to do that, like, girl.
It's going to be all right. Stop listening to them.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. Even going back to Gremlin, sometime I think about just the things I stressed about being in school.
Mm-hmm.
And I
don't even matter.
Myself,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So the woman that you are now today, and let's say you got a t-shirt made, what would that t-shirt say?
I've been talking about it this whole time. The word is freedom.
Freedom.
I want you to know when I'm walking towards you that I am free. I want you to see it on my back when I'm walking away that I am free. So anything that comes into my orbit has to align with my freedom. Like I do not, that's a non-negotiable for me. If it does not align, I don't care if it's a really fine man. I don't care if it's I don't care what it is. Like it has to sync up. Yeah. And I don't know how we start. I don't know why I said the man. No. I was just trying to be clear to let people know it doesn't matter what it is. Freedom is the word.
And I agree. I think I don't know if you feel this way, but as I got older, as I'm getting older, I'm older than you. But not as I got 3 years, I'll be 4 years. Yeah. I was older when I went to Grandma.
Well, you were my brother, so yeah.
Yeah. So, the thing is as I got older, I was just like, yeah, that circle, like you said, that orbit, I had to push some people out of there because my peace and my being positive, I needed that around me. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that more and more as I get older, like, can't have that. Mm-hmm. Gotta get away. Do you notice that as well? Or
I think the closer you get to who you truly are, like your authentic truth, because a lot of times we are walking around here being who other people want us to be versus who God created us to be. So once you get closer to that person, to your true self, then I think you start to look around you and recognize things that need to be removed, whatever that is.
Yes.
So if it doesn't line up, it's like, and sometimes you don't even have to tell it to go. It just God removes it because it no longer makes sense for this part of your life where he has you. You know what I mean?
Yes. So true. So true.
It's like purpose work. Once you start working in your purpose, everything that you're supposed to do is going to be like, it's in sync. I have been talking about freedom all day. This is like my fourth Zoom call, and I have every conversation I've literally been talking about freedom. It's just kind of bubbled up, different types of situations. But I've noticed that while I have been on this journey, everything that has come towards me, everything that I've attracted has been things where I'm like, ooh, it's easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if it's not, it doesn't stay very long. It's very apparent if it needs to be removed. Like it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that too. And I love the things that you are doing in the community. I am just over the moon every time you post something. It just brings inspiration and motivation to me. So can you share what you're doing and how people can get some wisdom from you?
Yes. Well, thank you, first of all, for saying that, because sometimes you work hard and you just feel like it's going into a black hole. So I'm glad that I'm able to provide some inspiration to you. So I have a few things. I have several digital products, but the ones that are near and dear to my heart are the Freedom Checklist. As I already said, I was laid off from my corporate job in 2017, and I've started my own business and I've done a lot of different ventures. And so I created the Freedom Checklist and the From Frustrated to Freedom course to help people who are in 9 to 5s, who are just like, this is not for me. I need to move around. I need to do something different. Not necessarily quit my job or quit corporate, but I need to do something different. And I don't know what that is. I need help navigating that. Or people who are like me, who are laid off and just like don't have a plan of what to do next. I mean, things as simple as you need to file for unemployment, or you need to, and where to go to do that. You need to, here are some websites that you can look up to, start figuring out, okay, what you want to do, or job sites to actually, get your next job, or updating your resume, or creating a 30-day plan for your next 30 days. A lot of people just start going without a clear path ahead, right? And they're not always met with success. So I literally put together this course, the From Frustrated to Freedom course, to help people navigate that season. And then I know there are a lot of people who are just like, I need something quick, fast, now, today. I don't want to go through, the lessons and everything. I want it now, ready to get started today. That's why I pulled out the Freedom Checklist, so they can have the first 40 action items. Like literally, I'm telling you, do this in this order.
Nice.
Do not veer from this list, right? Pay close attention to me. I'm not coming from a place of theory. This is my truth. I live through this, and I'm trying to help you to not, run into some of the obstacles that I ran into, quite frankly, when I was going through the same season. So those are near and dear to my heart. And it's all about freedom for me this year and beyond. I'm trying to set people free in 2022.
Well, we all need it. And you wrote some books as well, correct?
Yes. So I have the anniversary of my first book signing was yesterday. My book, it's a lot of stuff happens in January. I love it. My first book was called The Fierce Female's Guide to College Life and Beyond. I wrote that the year that I was laid off. So I moved back to Grambling, and some type of way I had gotten invited to speak to incoming freshman girls about, just college life and, different things they can do to help them navigate. Yeah. And I put together a checklist. There I go, my checklist of things. And it was kind of like an outline. And I used that to, speak to the girls that night. But I could tell, like, when it was time for me to leave, they were coming up and they were talking to me. And I was just like, there is so much that I want to share with y'all, because y'all are about to deal with, some really tough times in college. Yeah. It's going to make you better. But had I had a little bit more advice when your situation as a incoming freshman, the summer of my freshman year, I think there's a lot of things I would have done differently. Yeah. So I took that outline, thinking of those girls specifically, saying, let me create an ebook. First, it was just going to be an ebook, but then I said, no, I want to do it in multiple formats. Yeah. So it's on Amazon, hard copy or paperback copy, as well as an ebook format for young ladies. And I spent a lot of time over those first couple of years after my layoff, just going around and talking to different teen groups and female-led organizations. Like any teenage girl who wanted to listen to me, I was talking to her about, girl, let me tell you, go to chapter 3, chapter 4. And I was giving them the real, because again, I'm trying to set them free. I understand what you're going through. You don't necessarily have to go through, and you're probably there because you're dealing with an identity crisis. Yeah. You don't know who you are, and you're doing what you think you should be doing. So let me give you a few tips and tricks to help you out along the way. So it's my hope that they are out there healed, equipped, and just ready for what lies ahead, because they were able to read my book.
Yeah, great book. It's going to be a part of our Hurdles division here at Wrinkles. Um,
Yes.
so tell us the links and how we can get support through your checklist and your seminars and class. I know you do speaking engagements. So how can people
I
stay
do.
connected with you?
So you can find me at ChristyAnnHamlin.com. That's my website. And you can find everything you need on there pretty much. And then I'm on Instagram as Christy Ann Hamlin and Facebook as Christy Ann Hamlin. So everywhere is Christy Ann Hamlin. And I should be the only one. You should have no trouble finding me. But yeah, to get all of the digital, I have several digital products, different resources that I've created just based on the learnings that I've gone through navigating my transition from corporate as well as my transition into entrepreneurship. So both ways. So yeah, ChristyAnnHamlin.com, Christy Ann Hamlin on Instagram and Facebook.
Perfect. Oh, you see the links that are coming there? Every link, you can just find her there. Also, you can find her on wrinklesocietyofhope.org. There'll be a link directly to her website. So if you forget, just go to wrinklesocietyofhope.org and then you can click on the link under her beautiful picture. So,
Oh, thank you.
yes.
This was fun. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for coming. And anything that you're doing, please let us know, because I mean, I've been looking at just some of the things that you put out, inspirational quotes and things that we can get to read. I love checklists. I mean, the fact that you have 40 items already there up front before you even go through the training is amazing, because that's a lot. And
Yeah.
people probably don't even know half the things. So I think that's important to get. So I just thank you for even having that for people to have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
So
it was a pleasure to create. I'm a project manager, so I have to like have everything in order, and that's how I teach, that's how I write, that's how I do everything. So I'm happy to help.
well, we need people like you, because some of us are not in order. So so we appreciate it. Thank you so much, sis, for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Happy Founders Day.
Happy Founders Day to our Saras of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. January 15th is our day. So, yeah. Love you, sis.
Love
Bye,
you too.
Wrinkles.
Bye.